as we know them are gone. They say right now that if you're playing with formations or have been playing formations like everyone has, especially in the competitive side, that you're going to be fine. I think fine is a bit of a relative term here. Because, of course, things as we know them, things like the Gladius, stuff like Cabal and Murder Pack, and I mean, it's everywhere. It's all across every book that has had, I guess, a wealth of formations is now going to have a change in how they do things. But what the book has promised us, or what the community team has promised us, is that there will be not just combined and allied detachment in the main rulebook. There's going to be some amount, 15 or more formations that should ideally encompass most of the ways that you've been playing now. And I would have to imagine that does things like compensate for armies that may not have an HQ slot in their listing, like Harlequins. Although we do know that they're going to be a rewrite of some of the like HQs, and every unit's getting an update. So I wouldn't be surprised if even some things in the Harlequin Codex get promoted up to be an HQ, or if some things in the Eldar Codex be able to become HQs. And of course, there's the Gathering Storm characters that we know will get rules for in this set. So big thing, formations as we knew them are gone. What it's being replaced with are what almost look like traditional force organization charts, but there's going to be lots of them that give you restrictions and bonuses. And it says the most common restriction is that your forces have to come from the same faction. So, and they go on highlight, things like Blood Angels and whatever all have to come from the same faction for some of these. That would lead me to believe that there are going to be some that don't need the same faction. So, I'm willing to bet we may see some that, but they'll have taxes in other ways. The patrol detachment that they have here has a low buy-in. It's 1 HQ and 2 troops kind of thing, and then it goes up from there. One of the big changes to the force organization chart is that now the flyer description has its own thing. It's not just a fast attack anymore. Flyer is his own thing, which is it's kind of neat. I think that we'll see some all flyer detachments and with their own kind of bonuses or restrictions from there, but it's given them one of those other sliders that we talk about on the podcast, going a little bit more depth about how they can kind of play with things and give you it's opened up the doors now for them to get creative with some of these things and release formations on their own that apply to everyone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more come out in things like the White Dwarf, or with bundles. They've done that kind of stuff in the past. I'd be really excited to see where they go with this. So the examples that they give are the patrol detachment, like I said, the low buy-in, no bonuses for that. Then we go up to a battalion detachment that has a 2 HQ buy-in and then a 3 troop minimum, and then that gives you a 3 command point bonus. Now we don't know exactly what the command points are going to do past kind of what they've given us, and then the last one they share here is the brigade detachment, which has 3 to 5 HQs, 6 troop minimum, 3 to 8 elites, 3 minimum, 3 fast attack, and 3 heavy support minimum. The only reason I'm bringing this up here is because they're in line with the multiple ways to play this. I think that you may find people that are playing the narrative side or the open side that may say, hey, let's play a game tomorrow at our local store. Like, it's Gigabytes here for me in Atlanta. I'm going to bring a brigade detachment. You bring a brigade detachment, and then let's just see what happens. It's kind of opening up to that and giving people some structure even around their wide open play. I think it's going to let people build theming armies that fit within the setting, that are not unbalanced. I think what we're going to find is a collection of formations that I don't want to say benefit everyone, but at least level the playing field for everyone between all different codexes and compensate for some of that codex creep. If they're, let's just say that the company mindset now is to not release a super detachment for White Scars or whatever, they may make a detachment that does better for fast-moving armies. And that will allow things like Dark Eldar, Harlequins, I mentioned, space, various chapters of Space Marines, to all kind of function within that and be on this kind of equal level playing field, at least from the army design phase. And that's what we lost a lot in the 7th edition rules, is that some armies just simply lost the efficiency based on when they were building their army, when they were getting their notepad and paper down. That's when they could have lost one of their tournament games. And I think that, I mean, of course, that'll be a factor with what you take and the synergies within that, but at least a lot of people will have options starting at the baseline. And you know, if there's any takeaway, granted, you know, I've been playing with a murder pack recently. I definitely don't want to see that go. And various other things too. I know this is going to affect folks in a way that's going to cause a lot of chatter, I think. But I think this is better for most people with the way that they're approaching it now. I'm interested to hear your thoughts.